11:06, 62 degrees, cloudy skies. We've got strong winds out there today. 14 miles an hour now, but
coming out of the north and west, so that means we've got the temperature changes coming.
Yeah, temperature changes coming. We've got a transition happening this week. It is October 13th. I'm Terri Stacy along with Denny Smith.
Yeah, and I sent some really neat sunrise pictures to my buddy Kielynn Talley.
Producing today's show.
Yeah, she likes
well.
she loves sunrises for sure.
I love my sunrises. In the sunrise this morning, it was a beautiful pink sun coming up with a little bit of overcast, so you could look at the sun. Probably not very good still, but I did anyways.
Yeah, well, we've got
so
overcast now.
Yeah. You know what? No matter how many sunrises you see, they're always like, that's so spectacular. I got to get a picture. They're beautiful. Every one of them. Every sunrise is a beautiful thing. Listen, I know we've got a jam-packed show today, and normally at this time is when we kind of just mess around and talk and catch up, but I want to talk about this great nonprofit that I found. I didn't find it. Patty Spittler found it, and I heard about it. As we continue these recovery efforts in the aftermath of the two deadly hurricanes, this nonprofit here in central Indiana is called Snout Senior Dog Rescue, and they're doing what they can with help from you to help these animals that are in that need immediate assistance down in the South. And here to talk about it is the president of Snout Rescue, Shelly Allen. Shelly, hi.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
We're great, and we're glad to get some time with you because I know you're on the road. Tell everybody where you are.
So I'm currently in Sarasota County, Florida. And
you're doing what?
Well, we're trying to help these rescues and shelters down here. Much news publicity has been given to the recent Hurricane Milton, and unfortunately, the eye of that storm hit this area, wiping out several shelters and rescues here locally.
Are there any other people there gathering up animals that you can see, or is it all from outside that area?
It's mainly all from outside. There were a lot of local people that stepped in before the hurricane to help pull dogs out of shelters quickly. The problem is one of the big shelters here locally was devastated, and so now there's no place for those dogs to return to, which is why they're now calling on shelters and rescues from outside the area to come in and help place these dogs for homes.
After let's talk about, well, at the end we'll tell everybody about Silver Snouts, but this mission that you're on at this moment, I know we're going to be able to let everybody know how you can help. If you've already donated to the humans and you are an animal lovers like all of us here in this room and so many of you listening, we want to make sure that you've got a place where you can donate to help what they're doing at Silver Snouts Senior Dog Rescue down in Florida at the moment. But Shelly, this is not your first stop. I believe you went to North Carolina after Helene first, right?
It is. Yes. So when Helene hit, we were very fortunate down here in Sarasota County that we did not take the hit. But when it did devastate North Carolina, one of our amazing volunteers, Sasha, up in Indiana, called me and said, we have to do something for them. And so we quickly threw it out there on social media. We were going to gather things. We were going to take it. Sage Pet Hospital in Hendersonville, North Carolina, they were operating with no utilities whatsoever, wearing headlamps as people were pulling animals down out of the mountains. They were trying to help them, ran out of supplies. And so that was our main target location was them, but then they also agreed to disperse things to local rescues and shelters there. So over 4 days, we collected enough to fill a 26-foot moving van. Several local businesses in Indianapolis helped us collect those goods, and those businesses are listed on our social media. Please check them out. Please support them because they're really great people, and we couldn't have done it without them. But we took a whole moving van down to North Carolina and was able to restock their supply.
So where did you get all the crates? How do you keep all the dogs in a 26-footer, and how do you keep them from roasting back there? What do you do?
So we did not take dogs. We took supplies. We took dog food. We took veterinary supplies. All of the things that you would need for a rescue or shelter. We took supplies down to help out the shelters and rescues that were trying to survive the aftermath.
The goal next, I know you've got different goals that you'd like to meet. And will there be a time when you will bring some of those animals back to here to Indiana?
Yes. So honestly, that was our plan when we got to Hendersonville. We were going to try and bring a couple dogs back with us. Unfortunately, we ran out of funding to be able to do that responsibly. Just trying to get everything down to Hendersonville, we had to tap into some of our own funds to make that happen. So bringing dogs back would have required more money for their vet care, and we didn't want to bring dogs back that we couldn't personally care for. So we had to kind of stop our efforts at taking supplies down. We are in contact with those rescues and shelters, and we do have the ability to help pull more dogs out of there. Again, we just need the funding to be able to do it responsibly.
Yeah, silversnoutrescue.com. Silversnoutrescue.com is where you can go to help. Also on Facebook. So what is the need like from what you're able to see?
The need is huge. It's amazing how many dogs, cats, other animals, of course, have just been completely left homeless in these devastated areas. A lot of them, we don't know who they belong to. They weren't properly identified. And so, our main goal is to hang on to them, keep them safe, keep them healthy, and hope that their owners come looking for them. But it's a lot. It's more than anyone would expect, for sure.
My gosh, your heart must be breaking like mine is just hearing it, let alone actually seeing it. The pictures that we've seen on social media, again, I know that humans have been devastated, and we continue to pray for them and make sure that they're taken care of as well. But the animals, too, need our help. And if you've seen, like I have, the pictures of cats that are clinging to door handles and just the tragedy of it all, and it's terribly frightening to see for whatever humans and animals have gone through, and that's what you're here to do, is to help. When are you coming back? What can we do to help you right now?
So we still have some donations that actually did not fit on the moving van, and so we're trying to put together another trip down to take more things. So I would say at this point, just continue to follow along our social media. We're trying to keep everybody up to date via that route because it's just ever changing. We're constantly getting calls and messages from shelters and rescues that need help as they are starting to run out of supplies as well. This is going to be an ongoing thing. It may disappear in the minds of people who weren't living in the devastation, but this is a long journey ahead of us to get everybody back up and running and safe.
You can visit their website, silversnoutrescue.com, but their Facebook page, as you said, you can stay with them for the journey. They've got, when you even landed in Florida, they mentioned that you had gotten there safely, saying where the volunteers are. But you also just recently posted about this new fundraiser that you guys have going on. So not only donating, but this fundraiser. Can you tell us about this partnership with Oliver and Company Candles?
Sure. Oliver and Company Candles, they have a heart for rescues and shelters that have special needs dogs. We would be one of those because we only rescue dogs that are 8 years old or older, or hospice care dogs, so dogs that have a terminal illness, but yet they're not ready to cross that rainbow bridge just yet. We take them in and we give them a fantastic last chapter. So Oliver and Company Candles, they are all about it. They donate 20% of their sales to a rescue or shelter, and they've chosen us for this coming week. So anything you buy on their website, their candles, wax melts, diffusers, they've got some amazing things, and she makes it all herself. So, support a local business. Again, we're all about local businesses, and that'll also come back to us, too.
Okay.
Shelley, I got one quick question. Your logo.
Sure.
Looks just like my flight instructor. And honest to goodness, I am going to send him this and say, I didn't know that you posed for this.
Describe it, Denny.
It's a silver-faced dog. You can tell that it's wearing glasses and bifocals and everything.
He's a senior.
Yeah, so what's the story behind this logo?
So I have a background in marketing, and I just developed it myself when I started the logo. Our very first dog that we rescued looked similar to that, and I just kind of took his picture and played off of it.
Well, his name is Mark Sprigg, and he's from Mobile, Alabama, okay? I'm just telling you, okay?
Shelley Allen is the president of Silver Snout Rescue, and they are on a mission to help as many animals that have been misplaced and then these shelters that have been devastated, doing everything they can. She is in Florida right now. This is an Indiana organization, we should mention again. They're our neighbors too and our friends, and we want to support. And just quickly, if you will, you mentioned it briefly about what Silver Snout Rescue is all about, but just kind of let us know again what you're able to do and what you've been doing.
Sure. So our main focus is the shelters, more specifically the high kill shelters. A lot of times you'll see that the older dogs are the first ones that don't make it out of the shelter because of several reasons. So we go into those shelters and we pull the older dogs out. This is Grandma and Grandpa's best friend that nobody wanted to take care of. Or,
right.
you know, there's so many stories that we hear about these older dogs, and they're scared. They're much like children. They don't understand why there's been big changes in their life. And so our goal is just to give them a comfortable place to land. So they go into foster homes. We do have a little doggy nursing home on the west side of Indianapolis where some of our dogs actually live. It's a very small place, but it's a lot of our hospice dogs that are going to pass away soon live in that little nursing home.
Oh, my gosh.
And then we do hospice care. So I currently have a dog in our care. She's only about 6 years old, so she's not a senior, but she does have metastatic breast cancer. You wouldn't know her just yet. She still has a lot of energy, but she's staying with us until the end, and we're taking her on adventures and spoiling her, and that's just what we're all about.
Oh, my gosh. You
I
guys
don't
are
even know
amazing.
you, but I love you.
You just can't help it. I'm so grateful to Patty Spittler for letting us know who you are, and to make sure that our listening audience hears your voice too. Shelley Allen, the president of Silver Snout Rescue, she is an earth angel, and what she has been doing and continues to do. Again, please help them on their mission. SilverSnoutRescue.com is where you need to go. Also on Facebook, take advantage of the candles that are being sold with proceeds partially going to Silver Snouts. But listen, be safe, and don't hesitate to let us know what you need. And in the meantime, we'll just donate to your cause, and then we'll keep following along to see if there's more that we can do.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Bless your heart. Be safe. It is 11:18, and this is the first day on 93 WIBC. 11:23. Hello, everybody. We just had my new hero, Shelly Allen, on from Silver Snouts, and I'm having a radiothon right now. So, no, don't call here. I want everybody to go to
Silver
Go
Snouts.
donate.
silversnoutrescue.com and give them $5 if you got it, please, would you? And I know you're doing everything you can too for the humans as well. And you know where you have your favorite charity. Lots of them are helping Salvation Army, Red Cross, and the people we talked to last week. The civilian
the CCRT,
CCRT,
Civilian Critical Response Team down in Edinburgh.
fantastic, just fantastic.
They hit the television shows too.
I know
And
they did.
I saw them.
I think they heard here. I think they heard them here.
Well, there you go. There you go. Anyway,
Hey,
silversnoutsrescue.com.
Silver Snout.
If
Yeah,
you've got some room in your
rescue.com.
wallet, they'll make it work. It's the
They
best
sure
money
will.
you spend all day.
For an animal lover like me, that's just the best. And thank God for Shelly Allen and all that the volunteers for Silver Snout Rescue. All right, Kielyn's got us on TV.
Oh, that's
I
right.
sure do. You can join us on YouTube. Go type in 93 WIBC. We're live right now. First day with Terri Stacy.
Sorry about my makeup. Let me put on my Greg Garrison glasses. Greg Garrison left me these reader glasses when he left, and he said, "You know what? You're going to need them someday." And he was right. He was right all along.
As far as my camera, this is what you got. Deal with it. Sorry, folks.
You'll also see that Denny is celebrating today's National Day.
What's National Day?
I'm not
Today's-
going to look.
Today's National No Bra Day.
Kai, I thought you were going to say National Seersucker Day or National Blue Stripe.
He's not wearing his today.
Nope. Nope. He is celebrating.
Way to be a
and
part of it, Denny.
promoting. Mhm.
Way to be a part. Last week you were wearing
Look,
lip plump.
Do I need to go to
And now-
HR? Come on now.
No. Okay. All jokes aside,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
day promotes breast cancer awareness.
It does.
Because once they have their surgeries, they have to wear a bra to help hold their prosthesis. And so today's No Bra Day in honor of that.
Freedom.
Yeah.
It's about freedom.
I don't think you'll hear very many men complaining about that.
Speaking of breast cancer awareness, we're going to talk to the Komen Tissue Bank coming up in the next hour. And they are the only one of their kind. And they have an event coming up. And this is about healthy breast tissue and a donation that you make to research. And it's phenomenal what they're doing. I didn't know about them. So we're going to talk to them coming up in the next hour. Colts take on Tennessee today.
Yeah.
Or in Tennessee,
We'll
taking
see
on the
how that
Titans.
goes.
Yep. And then later on tonight, already, it is the IHSAA Boys Football State Tournament pairing show. We're already there.
It's already time for it?
Yeah.
This is the middle of October, if you can believe it. Halloween is just 17 days away. I mean, it's close.
I won't lie. I was driving past a sign. It was for this little meetup, September 19th. And I was like, cool, that's next week. I could go to that.
September 9th.
September 19th. It
We
is
missed it.
October.
It is October and it's flying by.
I'm stuck in like
You
August.
guys are talking like old people. Come on.
We do,
rough.
we do have some cold temperatures coming. Doesn't look like we're going to get down to freezing, but it's going to be a cooler week, 35, 37 at night. So, in the next couple of weeks, the freeze is coming.
Yeah, and I don't want to be grouchy, but I'm looking forward to the first frost just to knock down my allergies. I've had enough of allergies this whole summer.
Yeah.
Just give me a good frost.
I
The
know
leaves
it.
changing their colors. I will keep though.
Okay.
Don't get rid of that yet.
Hold on.
No, and I know you're a big leaf peeper. So she's probably
I'm a peeper,
She's,
yeah.
she's watching the times of when the leaves will actually turn. A lot of you may be headed out today to the second day of the Covered Bridge Festival.
The maples have already started to turn. Now we'll wait for
Oh,
the trees that normally yellow out, the hackberries and stuff. But when you start to see the maples turning orange and red, you know that it's coming.
You know it's coming. And you know what else is coming? The news. We're a minute late, Denny. Thank you.
Oops.
It's your fault.
Yeah, Denny, come on.
Love 20.
I'm not wearing a bra.
we
What do
invite you
expect?
here in this.
The news is next. 93 WIBC. is that lovely lady, Dawn Hansen. Dawn, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. Now, for anybody that is not a pet owner, explain what the Rainbow Bridge is.
So the Rainbow Bridge, the one that we're building here in Greenfield, or the metaphorical Rainbow Bridge, is what pet owners use to explain where their pets have gone when they've passed away. They've crossed the Rainbow Bridge into the next phase of what is after their life here with us.
It is a beautiful thing, and this Baker's Rainbow Bridge was an idea that you brought to the Greenfield Parks and Recreation Department. And how long ago did you do that?
I did that in March of 2024, so just a few months ago.
And why did you want a rainbow bridge in Greenfield?
So we had traveled to Lake Lure, North Carolina in March to leave our two boys, Kaser and Baker's collars, on the bridge there. Excuse me. And it was so bittersweet and healing and important to us to leave their collars somewhere with love and intention. And it was just such an incredible experience for us that I decided that I wanted to come back and try to build something like that here in central Indiana so that other people who don't have the opportunity to travel so far to leave their collars in a place like that would have a place to go and memorialize their pets.
And I saw that bridge online, I guess in the last year, and thought it was just such a beautiful idea. And I'm so glad that it inspired you because the Hurricane Helene, devastated so many areas of North Carolina, including that Rainbow Bridge.
Yes.
Was it easy to get the support of the Parks Department?
Yes, the Parks Department from the very beginning was very enthusiastic and open to the idea. So we've had their support from the beginning, and then it just became a matter of raising the funds in order to build the bridge.
And that obviously happened pretty fast. How much money did you need?
We needed about $5,000 to build the bridge itself, and we were fortunate enough to be given a grant from Hancock County Tourism to cover the bulk of the cost of the bridge. And then we also raised money through individual donations. There's a mural that is also placed at the bridge that people could donate a certain amount of money and have their beloved pet's portrait painted by local artist Lisa Sears.
Oh.
And she's going to install those portraits on the mural prior to opening day.
Was that something that I just didn't realize at the Rainbow Bridge in North Carolina? Did they also have portraits of dogs? Or this sounds unique.
Yes. No, they did not have portraits of dogs at the one in North Carolina. It was just an idea that came to me. I did want something unique to our bridge. I liked that it was a local artist. She teaches at Greenfield Central High School, and she has experience painting murals across the city. She's phenomenal, and the life that she has brought back to the dogs through the portraits is just incredible. And seeing our dogs again through her eyes is really going to add a special touch to the bridge.
I think so, too. I really do. It's called Baker's Rainbow Bridge. This will be, is it Beckenhold Park? Is that where
Yes.
Yes, Beckenhold
Yes.
Park. And
Yes.
Dawn Hansen is with us, and she really was the one that leading the charge and had the idea and got the support that was needed to get this done in a pretty short amount of time. Imagine donations came in much faster than you even thought.
People were eager to donate to the cause, and I know there are many people who are eager to come and place collars or just be present and memorialize their pets at the bridge.
Yeah, me too. Were you part of the process, or did it leave your hands once the idea was approved?
No, they have included me in everything from the beginning, but we're very thankful that the Parks Department was able to provide the labor and the materials and the design for the bridge, because obviously that's way outside of my wheelhouse. But yes, they have asked for my input on everything, and I have just completely appreciated their support in seeing this come to life.
Baker's Rainbow Bridge. Why is it called Baker's?
So Baker is our dog that we lost just about a year ago, and we lost him very suddenly. He was only 5 years old.
Oh.
And we had lost Kaser in 2018, and we lasted 2 weeks without a dog before we got Baker. And Baker had lifelong medical problems, but in the end, his medical problem isn't what caused his untimely departure from us. and it was very traumatic for us to lose a dog suddenly. It's sad to lose a dog anyway, but to lose him to a sudden illness that we were not prepared for, it just seems to be a abrasive, harsher loss for us to overcome. And I just really felt like I wanted to memorialize him in a larger manner because he fought a hard life for the 5 years that he was here.
Baker's Rainbow Bridge. I'm so glad that the name Baker is a part of it. This is a special place for so many, but more so for you. You got this done. It's got to be awesome feeling that
It does.
it's going to be there for as long as nature will allow it, right? Now that
Yes,
we know about
absolutely.
what nature can do. It will be here long after us, a place for people that like us, that love our animals like their family, a wonderful place. I know it's going to be visited every minute of the day. October 19th is the dedication. I know you'll be there. It begins at 2 o'clock, and that's followed by the Rovers Halloween event. That's 2 to 4.
Yes.
With vendors, there's pet costume contest and so much more. And again, this is at Beckenholt Park in Greenfield. Dawn Hansen, thank you so much for giving us your time. I'm so glad it's done. You've done such an amazing thing to leave in Greenfield. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing the news with everyone.
It's 11:41. Another Earth Angel doing some amazing things. Listen, this just came in from Scott Johnston from The Fan. Joe Flacco will be today's starting quarterback. Sam Ellinger is the backup. Anthony Richardson is active and will serve as the emergency quarterback if it comes to that. That's just in from Scotty. Coming up, Donnie Burgess is here, and we're going to talk about what we can expect this first week as the Delphi murder trial begins finally after all these years. That's coming up after the break. 93 WIBC.
1 in 6.
93 WIBC, Terri Stacy. This is the first day. Denny Smith is here.
Good morning.
Hey, pal. Kielynn Talley now on camera on our YouTube stream.
Sunday.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Whether you're listening to us on the radio or you've got us on YouTube, thank you.
93
a million times.
WIBC on that YouTube channel. You get to see two beautiful ladies right now.
I did makeup in the car in the basement. So
Oh my
I'm
gosh,
not
can I
planning
just
on
say,
anything.
Libertarian Dragon on the YouTube chat, their comment, one day I foresee a Kicking It with Kielynn show on WIBC. Stop.
Kicking it
That
with
just-
Kai. Oh,
You just lit up in my world.
Cute. We sure
Thank
did.
you.
Well, she'll have to be able to do that after the Zubu.
Hey, and Kicking It, I love my soccer. You know me
I guess so.
too
Yeah,
well.
that was good. That was
Terri
very
Lynn.
good.
Did you hear what's happening on Monday, finally?
Finally, the trial of Richard Allen begins, and that is, I'm almost afraid to say tomorrow because I feel like at midnight we'll get a news release or a call that says, we're moving into, maybe March. This goes back to 2017, the murders of Abby Williams and Lippy German. They're names we know across this country. This all happened, as you all know, near the Monon High Bridge in Delphi, and we're going to talk about what to expect this week with WIBC's Donnie Burgess, and we have been waiting truly a long time for this. It feels like we were talking about, are you going to get a room in Delphi to cover the trial? And now it's really going to happen. Knock on wood.
Yeah, knock on every piece of wood you can find. I believe it's finally going to happen tomorrow, Monday, the 14th, is when jury selection begins in Allen County. They are going to go through a whole lot of people, ask them a whole lot of questions to try and find the 12 people that are going to judge quite possibly the biggest criminal case in Indiana's history. And that process will take place over the course of Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And the working theory right now is to hopefully have those 12 people ready to go, transport them from Allen County to Carroll County over the course of Thursday, and then Friday is when opening statements should finally begin after nearly 8 years after the girls' lives were taken.
Talk about a logistics nightmare. Oh, my goodness. I mean, moving everybody around, that'd be like saying we're going to broadcast from, Hamilton County
Yeah,
or
got to do
from
it, though.
Delaware County.
I think they had to do it.
Get them on the bus
I
and
think
go.
they had to go elsewhere to find a jury.
On top of those logistics, though, not even just the jury, but then now there's been some regulation on electronic communication, correct?
Regulation's a great choice of word for it.
What does it really mean?
Just you wait.
You
This
can't
is
take
rough.
You can't bring any electronic equipment in.
So, many people are still confused about this, and to catch people up to speed, Indiana's cameras and courtroom law gives Judge Frangall complete authority over the broadcasting of this trial. And she has decided, her words, that she has lost complete faith in media to cover this accountably or responsibly. And so, therefore, all reporters of any discipline, any outlet, will be restricted to pen and paper only. There is no cell phone in the courtroom.
Only.
There's no smartwatch. This is going old school. You are pen and paper, and you will be sat down in that courtroom for the entire day, and then all reporters will be turned loose to go and take care of their coverage needs.
This is when you should still be teaching shorthand, because that would be really challenging.
Great
that in
shorthand.
itself
That was
is challenging,
a
right?
staple.
This-
Have you seen Donnie's handwriting? He uses the big crayons. Good luck, Donnie.
I was watching last week Court TV, and they were covering this case. They were breaking it down, and I remember this. Why do you think this has captured the attention of people from all over the country? Whether you're doing a podcast or this has really captured a lot of attention.
Well, this has all the makings of that Hollywood style case, and what I mean by that is, unfortunately, just here in Indianapolis, but you can say this, insert any city name here, we hear about murder, double murder, or horrific crime almost every single week.
That's right.
But when I say that Hollywood style of a case, this is small town America. This is a town you could have filmed the Andy Griffith Show here. This is that stereotypical small town. Everyone knows everyone, doors open, cars unlocked. But then as the case progressed, nothing happened. No new information for years. A couple suspect sketches here and there, but then this is where the Hollywoodization of it basically comes up. Now you have one of the girls who bravely, the last moments of her life, realized something is going to happen and starts taking pictures of this man that's approaching them.
It's chilling.
And
chilling to think about.
Police release the pictures of this suspect. And then, again, showing the bravery and the wit of the girls in their last moments, starts recording a video and captures the killer's voice.
Remember what he said, down the hill.
Down the hill. So that's another reason why it's been so easy to be swallowed by it, because it's similar to how everyone, you dip your toes a little bit into true crime, you get swallowed by cases like the Zodiac killer, right? Because it's these unusual things, these unusual aspects of a case. We have, for years and years, we've had pictures and audio of the killer, but then nothing for several years. And then boom, out of nowhere, we get an arrest 2 years ago, this month, 2 years ago, Richard Allen was arrested. And again, another reason why people are so absorbed by the case. This was a guy that worked at a CVS in town. Everyone walked past this man, drove past this man every single day for all these years. He never left town. That, if he is the guilty party, he never left town. He was always there. And so this is someone you may have went to church with. As a matter of fact, when the ceremony for the girls' lives was being planned and everything, the families went to CVS to go print off pictures. Allen was the man who helped them print off the pictures and did not charge them for it.
Donnie, are you going to be allowed in? Do you reserve a place in the courtroom? How do you get in, personally?
So the judge has set the rules for reserved seats. There are 12 reserved seats, 8 for television, 2 radio, 2 newspaper. And what most of Indianapolis media and some national as well, they've come together to basically create this Delphi
pool
news media coalition. Yeah, to essentially we're going to trade credentials and we're going to rotate people in. Pool reporters will pass their notes to everyone.
Wow.
No matter what, I will receive notes from the reporters in the room at the end of every day. So we will all be operating on essentially the same information, try and broadcast it out to everyone.
How long do you think the trial's going to last?
It's 5 weeks. So it kicks off Friday, and then November 15th is the last day. And as for me, the plan is to try and get in the first days and maybe the last few days.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of, it's tough. Something that people don't consider is this is tough in this day and age for small newsrooms to try and cover this, but we're there. We're trying.
You'll be there. And
That's
I think
WIBC right
the
there.
witness, the defense's witnesses, and I don't know if you have a list yet, but I've been seeing here and there, Keegan Klein will be called, and others that are names that we have heard throughout this duration. But that's the last thing I saw. And again, anything can change. But last I saw, some of the names that you've heard on and off and wondered, was he the guy? Was he the guy? Was he the bridge guy, as we've called him?
Yeah.
So anyway, it is... thank you, Kielynn. I got distracted. No. It's my fault. Thank you. 56.
Yep.
Okay.
2 minutes.
Hey, we're just hanging out here. Don't mind
We are
us.
just hanging out. I'm so sorry. I got so distracted.
Is it true that they're going to try to go to the crime scene itself? That I had heard.
So the defense wants the jury to go visit the area, but the prosecution does not want that to happen. The judge will rule on that hopefully this week. The prosecution feels it's not important, and which is a strange thing to say, but there's a lot of strange twists and turns in this case that would take us another few hours, which is something I should mention before we wrap things up. I'm currently, as we are speaking right now, working on a 3-part preview for the trial.
Oh, good.
That will air
Great.
Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday during the news at noon. And the idea is to give a very broad, general look back at the case. Again, we would need hours to go into all the crucial minutia detail of all this, but this will be a 3-part preview series that will air at the news at noon on WIBC.
We couldn't have a better person. For those of you who listen to WIBC regularly, Donnie is the most objective journalist that I think I've seen in this building in 10 or 20 years, just as objective can be. And I know you're not going to take sides, and that's really hard to do because you're a father, too.
Yeah. It's hard, but it's also I can't afford to play the role of some online people or
Nancy Grace
activists.
I don't
or
see
things
Donnie
like
as
that.
Nancy Grace.
No. We've got a duty as journalists, and that's what I'm here to do.
I know you are, and I'm grateful for the family that this is finally happening. That this has finally come to day one of the jury selection begins tomorrow. Donnie will be there. Thank you so much, Donnie. We appreciate it. What's about to happen to Delphi in this community was all the journalists will be converged into this small town here in Indiana. We've got another hour to go here of the first day. Thanks for joining us. Today's top stories are next. 93 WIBC. second hour of the first day, the WIBC Sunday Magazine Show. I'm Terri Stacy along with Denny Smith.
Good morning.
We're on camera.
I guess it's afternoon now.
Oh, it is
That
afternoon.
always slays me.
It's a happy Sunday.
Kylan
I'll just
Talley,
leave it at that. That's
Yeah.
what I do.
our little producer. The cameras have switched from Kielynn and to Denny. It will switch back again during food news. We have a great food news for you today.
Speaking of food news, I went to that alcohol-free place.
Lauren's AF Beverages.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh!
Had 'em
what
here
a neat
last week.
little
Here.
experience.
So good.
I
It
spent
is
some
good.
money there, and it's alcohol-free for sure.
What did you get?
I got the same thing we had. I got Parch, and then I got that one with a Black Widow spider on it. It was sort of like a cherry cream fizzy cider, and I like that.
Okay.
And then I got some alcohol-free tequila because I like to make palomas alcohol-free. I can't believe I'm
Yeah.
doing this without
I mean,
hooch.
hey.
I mean,
Can't believe you're doing it without hooch.
Yeah.
Without the real stuff. But
Without the
they're
real
great.
stuff.
They're terrific and young family owners, and it's a great venture for them. And so again, we like supporting local and hope that you'll make a stop to see them. 63 degrees. The sun is shining now. Lots of clouds, but we've got some sun shining here on Monument Circle. Coming up this hour, Heartland Film Festival underway. Kielynn and I are you'll hear our conversation as we met Michael Husain. It is a story about the fun days of the ABA, but not so fun at the end of the ABA. It's called The Waiting Game. Michael Husain will come up here in just a few minutes. Kylynn's been working Heartland.
Oh my gosh. And I've seen so many good films already. And I want to mention, if you're out watching some films, you might see me in a couple of them. I've got a little feature in Last Days of Summer. It's an Indiana spotlight.
What?
And then also in Queen of the Ring. You'll possibly see me
Are
in
you
the
the
background.
Queen of the Ring?
Oh, no, I wish. No. The actress was phenomenal. She's a CW actress, and it was great working with her on set, and her and Tyler Posey. Yeah, but you
That's
might see
cool.
me just, yeah, you'll.
That's cool.
I'll be there.
Okay.
And then if you go to some of the other venues, I'll be theater hosting for some of them, so hopefully I get to join you in your experience as we expand the universe with the 33rd annual
so you're getting all
Heartland Film
gussied
Festival.
up. You're doing the heels and the
Oh,
gowns and
you
everything.
betcha.
Oh, I bet you would. Good
Yeah.
for you.
Oh my gosh, the red carpet was so much fun.
Good. Good
All
for
good
Kylynnn.
things, and I hope you get to experience it too.
Yeah, it's great. Heartland Film Festival. It is 12:08, and we moved Denny because we needed to talk to Donnie about the upcoming trial in Delphi starting tomorrow. So here he is, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for one of your favorite portions of the first day show, Dollars and Cents with Denny Smith. Here we go.
You know we had to keep the song.
Yeah, for our new listeners, we like to sing in this part. So
Don't
join
worry,
us.
you didn't miss a thing.
Yeah, here you'll know when. Here we go.
Here we go.
Denny. That's what we do.
Guys.
Denny.
I
it
try to
simple.
make this so
Keep it
serious, and here you
simple.
goofballs are singing this wacky song.
Hey, that's how it is. It's balance. Denny, you know this.
This year,
You just remember what your old
Denny
Denny
says.
said.
You've got a friend in Denny.
all right, you guys ready to go?
Go.
You know,
Do it.
I've been talking about trust horizons for the better part of a year. Trust horizon is when we look out and we say, who do we trust? And what is taking place is that we have seen statistic after statistic that people no longer trust people that are far away from them. That includes Washington, D.C. For most of Indiana, it includes our legislature and our leaders here in central Indiana. This week, John Rubina, he's an analyst and a financial writer that I respect a lot, suggested that all of our trust horizons as Americans have shrunk to the point that we just don't have very much of it. And we've been told that inflation is under control, and yet the majority of Americans know that it is not under control. And in fact, they've experienced the opposite each and every week. We've been told that bird flu is coming. Now, nobody believes that bird flu is coming, but it's the biggest threat imaginable. And now we've got vaccination weariness. We've got Americans reluctant to get another jab, no matter what it is. They don't trust the CDC. A lot of folks don't even trust their own medical professionals. And we've been told there is an immigration problem, but yet we know there is. Here's the statistic. Trust in Congress is at an all-time low, and 2/3 of us don't trust anybody in Congress. Not Democrat, not Republican, not in leadership, not in the committees. 2/3 of us. That's an incredible number. But here it is on our state legislatures. Let me see if I can find it. 40% of us don't trust anybody in the state legislature, and another 40% say they'd only trust them a fair amount. So 80% of the people in Indiana say they don't trust our legislature. Now, this isn't
do you? I don't.
I really don't.
I don't.
I'm very
Kielynn, do you
suspicious
trust
of
anybody?
leadership on both sides.
Only you.
Only you.
I'll leave it just for Terri.
Well, I will say this: trust in local governments is a little bit better, but confidence in local government appears to be stretched very, very thin right now because of the things that Terri gets so grouchy about.
You want me to start?
Yeah. See, exactly. We don't
Starts
like
with construction.
Construction, expansionism. Our trust window has shrunk so much that we really don't trust anybody anymore. So it's a logical assumption that this is going to lead to some serious chaos. We've got two unstoppable wars in Ukraine and the Middle East. We've got social issues being crammed down our throats purposely to divide us. And all of this is just isn't going to get fixed anytime soon. So we literally are coming into the wackiest and craziest time of our lives. This next decade, we will be telling grandchildren about this. Our grandchildren will be telling about it. We've lived through weapons of mass destruction, pandemic lies, laptop lies, immigration lies, justice system distrust, financial distrust. This is pretty screwed up, ladies.
I know it.
It's not, the trust horizon is shrinking. We don't trust anybody. Here's the best one. Federal Reserve said they were going to lower interest rates by 0.5 percentage points, and that would make mortgages more affordable. Well, it's not that they're lying. It's just that they were very naive to think that just because they lower short-term rates, that the long-term rates, 10-year horizon, that's what mortgage rates are based on. They're not lower, and lenders are absolutely, adamant that they have to keep the rates higher for borrowers. So a couple of things are about to blow up. Commercial real estate's going to blow. Government bonds are going to blow, and these banking investment derivatives. Good heavens!
Every week,
look
he sends us down this path.
I know,
of
and
anger.
I'm as depressed as the next of you.
You need more magnesium.
Calcium and magnesium. But here we've got poor President Biden. Whether he is coherent or not, he's a lame duck, and he has no credibility because of things that have taken place. So chaos is definitely coming. Inflation's not dead. We're told that 3.3% is our inflation. Well, duh. They're currently telling us that 3.3% inflation, our prices are going to double in 20 years. But real inflation, according to everybody who really measures it, is 12 to 15%, and that means our prices are going to double in anywhere from 5 to 6 years. Terri, $100 is going to buy $50 in 5 to 6 years. That's where we are right now. So don't feel bad. And it's just not the United States.
So don't feel bad.
Argentina to Zimbabwe. The way they solve their problems is they print more money. What I'm telling you, what you're feeling in distrust and your trust horizon coming in, it is absolutely normal. But I will say this. We need to be careful. We need to expect chaos. Who would have expected two hurricanes right on top of one another?
Weather manipulation.
Terri, we promised each other we would not go
Denny
there.
didn't want to talk about it.
I didn't want to talk about
I'm
it.
going to talk about it
because there's a lot of evidence that that's what's taken place.
I don't like it.
Look at the incompetence of the federal government and, in some cases, some state governments in dealing anything to help their own people, let alone their pooches, like what you're so upset about, dogs and cats and, I don't know, horses swimming in the ocean.
I want to end this now.
All right. So remember what the great American president said not just 50 years ago: trust but verify. Don't get depressed, but don't believe everything you hear. Verify it, and you figure out another way to survive emotionally and intelligently in this crazy world.
Next week we'll be fact-checking weather manipulation.
Oh, Lord.
It's 12:14. Coming up, Roger Brown,
You
Bob
don't keep
Nedelicki,
promises. My
Darnell
trust
Hammond. Oh, by the way,
horizon is
thank you,
going-
Denny. Thank you for your dollars and cents today. Billy Keller, Big George McGinnis. You remember these guys? The Days of the ABA, the new documentary premiering at Heartland, written by Indiana's own Michael Husain. We'll talk to him next, right here on the first day, 93 WIBC.
Mark Deedle, as
Welcome back to the first day on 93 WIBC. Terri Stacy along with Kielynn Talley. And this is one of your favorites too, Kielynn, the 33rd Annual Heartland International Film Festival. It begins this week with more than 115 independent films. And the one film that I've been talking about for weeks now is called The Waiting Game. And for those of you that remember the ABA days of our Indiana Pacers, I think you're going to love this documentary. Joining us now is the director, the writer, the executive director, and also a Hoosier, Michael Husain. Hi, Michael.
Hi.
So happy to have you with us. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Michael's hometown, Terre Haute, is that right?
That's right. West Terre Haute. The folks there would be very, very particular about that.
Okay, West Terre Haute. Anyway.
We're famous now because Richard Goodall just won America's Got Talent.
You should do a film.
I should.
Really excited for that guy. It's a great story. And yes, from your neck of the woods. And you too. You've received so many accolades with winning many National Emmy Awards for documenting fantastic stories. Winner of the Heartland film Crystal Heart. Your first professional job in the film industry, was it working on a documentary?
Yes, it was. Everybody starts off doing smaller things, but yeah, my first real gig was doing a documentary on an expedition that Teddy Roosevelt led to chart a river in the Brazilian wilderness.
Wow. Wow. Did that make you fall in love with storytelling, or was it the next film?
No, it really was that. I mean, the ability, what documentaries can do in terms of immersing you into a story in a really deep way and in an emotional way, so that you get, interesting facts and you're learning along the way, but you're just really engaged in it. Like, I fell in love with that.
The Waiting Game. I feel like I've been waiting to talk to you about this. This story. Why did you want to tell it?
I grew up knowing the ABA. I remember Bobby Leonard's leisure suits. I remember those championships. I was a boy, but it was the first taste of that sort of honey, I guess, that I had, and I was a basketball fan growing up. When I learned that those incredible athletes, not only from our Indiana Pacers, but all across the country, teams in Salt Lake City and teams in Denver and San Antonio and elsewhere, that there were guys that were multiple-year All-Stars that were really, really struggling to the point where they were either becoming homeless or couldn't buy life-saving medicines, that sort of very, very tough stuff. It was like, how can that be? How could these guys who were sort of gods when we were growing up be in that circumstance? And so I really wanted to lean into that, not only for the sort of humanity of those guys, but in remembrance of this fantastic basketball league that I remembered.
Me too. How did you learn about those stories of those that you said were nearly homeless or that had the real struggles? Those are things I didn't know.
I didn't either. But you're right. So the ABA was a very different, rival league to the NBA. And it brought not only the incredible sort of entertainment value we're talking about, halftime shows and cheerleaders and, players making a fashion walk coming into the thing. That all started in the ABA, let alone the sort of pace of play, the athleticism, the three-point shot, the slam dunk contest. All that is ABA stuff. The NBA didn't have any of that. It was a really, really important league into what the NBA became. I learned about it. I met one of the founders of tiny not-for-profit called the Dropping Dimes Foundation here in Indianapolis. They're amazing. And so it was co-founded by a guy named Scott Tarter and Dr. John Abrams, who is actually the Pacers team eye physician, has been for 30-plus years. And they were working to get the ABA players some financial benefits, some recognition. That was sort of the whole essence of what it was wanting to do. And the question then became, well, why would they need that? Turns out that when the two leagues combined, the ABA and the NBA really won that deal, so to speak. It's often called a merger, but it wasn't. It was just an expansion. The NBA took four teams, our Pacers, the San Antonio Spurs, the Denver Nuggets, and the Nets, and brought them into the NBA. And so inside that deal, there was something very confusing happened because the players from the ABA all thought, sort of to a man, that they had benefits. So if they didn't make it to the NBA in that merging of the league, so to speak, that they would have retirement benefits. They'd have health care, they'd have a pension, and they really all believed it. And they would show documentation from the merger agreement that showed it looked like, yeah, that's what it says. So the Dropping Dimes Foundation started looking into that as well and saying, well, maybe they are owed some money. And our film follows their journey to explore that. And even if their discoveries, whether or not that was actually true, what looks like it's written in the legal documents, there's no question from a sort of human point of view that to do the right thing, the NBA is a multi-billion-dollar league at this point. So to help these guys who were clearly the pioneers of the game, and there's only 100 to 150 of those guys left, to give them a sort of dignity and respect in the latter years of their life is a sort of a no-brainer.
Kielynn?
The Waiting Game. Mark your calendars for the world premiere of it, happening Friday, October 18th at the Tobias Theater at Newfields. We are talking with Michael Husain, director, executive producer, and writer of this film. In July 2022, the NBA set up a pension plan to try and right this wrong that will probably never fully be righted. When was the production of your film? When were you guys going through that? Did you get to talk about this new pension plan and if that's ever going to fully help these players out?
Yes. I met Scott Tarter, who's one of the co-founders, in November of 2021. And he was telling me about the negotiations that they'd been doing with the NBA for a while. And he thought it was close. Let's try and follow it. Let's try and celebrate the ABA and then also the work that Dropping Dimes has been doing. And it seemed like a great short film. And I thought it was a short film. But the deadlines kept being set up. He thought it was going to happen in January or February. It didn't. March or April. Didn't. Unfortunately, some of the ABA players who really needed the help started to die. Finally, in what you mentioned in July of 2022, the NBA did set up a fund for a number of the ABA guys, not all of them. There are still some legal carve-outs in there, and they called it a recognition payment as opposed to a pension. And that was done very specifically because there are all sorts of legalities that go around a pension, and technically the ABA guys were never NBA employees, and so there's all sorts of stuff that lawyers and accountants thought about. But the fund has helped guys for sure. It's a huge win for the Dropping Dimes. The Dropping Dimes Foundation is a 3-person organization, and the fact that they were able to get the NBA to come to the table with $25 million to help these guys is huge. But once you sort of parcel through it, it's, if you played 3 years in the ABA, you get $1,000 a month. 6 years, you get $2,000 a month. And that's helpful for sure. But for people with significant medical needs or other things, when you get old, things get expensive. And so it's not quite enough. So the Dropping Dimes Foundation is still very active. They're still helping guys.
I still see Darnell Hillman often and some of those guys. Is there still a closeness, or is there a bond between them, even if they are not living right next door to each other?
Oh, absolutely. Darnell's in the film. Bob Nedelicki's in the film.
Oh, boy.
And really, the Dropping Dimes Foundation kind of got its impetus to start from Mel Daniels, who's since passed. But they are incredibly close. And they all talk about the playing days when, yes, they would be very, very competitive on the floor. But after the games were over, they were all going out to the bars together. It was just a different time. Yeah. And, they're very approachable. Like, anybody of a certain age in this city who followed the Pacers, you could go to Bob Nedelicki had a bar, and everybody would show up at Neto's bar and hang out together. So it was just a really, really fun, special time. And a group of guys who are still very, very tight.
Do you kind of go into that special time of what that looked like on and off the court with these guys?
We do, because it was this brotherhood. And, there's, super interesting things like, Bob Costas got his start in the ABA calling Spirits of St. Louis games. So he felt like he was a part of the ABA brotherhood as well. Dr. J. Julius Erving is in the film. And, there was a lot of, social impact that came out of the film. The ABA was happening in the late 60s and early 70s at a time of great social change. So a ton of the influence of black culture in our sports, in our fashion, and in our entertainment. A lot of that sort of percolated up through the ABA.
All right.
We're
Michael
talking
Husain. Go ahead,
Michael
Kielynn.
Husain, director and executive producer and writer. Again, world premiere Friday, October 18th, and then it's playing again Saturday, October 19th at the Living Room Theaters. And Michael will be there if you have any questions for him or want to talk with him about the film. You can also watch it online, but he is attending the screenings. So,
As are ABA players, people from Dropping Dimes. So it'll be a great, great time. Everybody should come out.
Michael, thank you for bringing this film to us as Pacer fans and ABA Days fans. Cannot wait.
No, thank you so much for having me. It's going to be a really fun time.
Michael, it was so wonderful having you, and I'm excited for this world premiere for everybody to be able to see it. And even you guys in the YouTube chat, you guys are remembering those. Terry Miller commented fun memories of
good.
my dad watching
Hi,
ABA
Terry.
Pacers, and that's exactly what it is. And I'm happy that we'll be able to bring that
Me
back.
too. So
help
many
them
good
out some
memories.
more.
So many good memories for me too. Playing when they played at the Coliseum, ABA Days, the red, white, and blue ball. Just a great time, and I think you'll really like this film. All right, coming up, we're going to talk about the Komen Tissue Bank and what they need from you coming up on the 19th. It's 12:30. The news is next.
Greetings from R&R
Be anything, I'll be kind to you. Could you be kind to me?
October's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We're going to talk about something that I was not aware of. We're going to talk about an event that is coming up on October 19th, and here to talk about it is Dr. Michelle Cote. She is the director of the Komen Tissue Bank at the IU Simon Comprehensive Cancer Center, and with her is Dr. Kathy Ridley Merriweather, and she is Communications and Recruitment Manager of Biospecimen Collection and Banking Core at IU Simon Comprehensive Center as well. Thank you both so much for joining us. I know you're on the road at the Komen Tissue Bank. It is the world's only biorepository for normal breast tissue and matched serum, plasma, and DNA. Dr. Cote, tell me what that means.
And what that means was in 2007, Indiana University, with some funding from Komen for the Cure, started this amazing tissue bank that has allowed researchers from literally all over the world to use our samples to really discover how the breast goes from kind of behaving and functioning in a normal manner to, having invasive breast cancer. And so we've had donations from over 5,000 individuals. This is not a clinically indicated biopsy. So this isn't the type of thing where you go to get a mammogram and there's an area on the mammogram that's suspicious and they want to investigate further. So you have a clinically indicated biopsy. This is completely healthy women, and now more recently we have men that have enrolled as well, that come in on a Saturday to downtown Indianapolis, and they go through about an hour to an hour and a half it takes to donate some breast tissue, to answer some questions about their family history and their own personal history, to give a blood sample, and then they're kind of out the door. We do follow people every year. We send an email and we ask for any kind of medical history or updates on their health. One single sample can be used literally dozens of times in dozens of projects to really investigate, the causes of breast cancer, with the goal really here of prevention. It's fantastic to develop new treatments. We definitely need new treatments, but what a great place to be if we can actually prevent the cancers from forming altogether. And that's what studying normal tissue helps us do.
2007 is when the doors opened. So in that amount of time, all of those that have taken the time to donate their tissue, there must have been research since 2008 because of those donations, accomplishments, I should say.
Yes, we've done an incredible amount. And when I say we, it is truly a global we. Like I said, investigators from all around the world have used these samples. We've distributed over 37,000 samples to investigators worldwide. How we communicate as scientists is peer-reviewed publications. There's well over 100 peer-reviewed publications, but some of the things we've been able to examine are really just they've never been done before, because molecular biology and the technologies we use are also increasing rapidly. And so we have an investigator at Indiana University who's kind of come up with, he describes it as a normal breast atlas, kind of a blueprint of what normal breast tissue looks like and the types of genes that it expresses, for example. And we can use that as kind of a baseline normal and then look at breast cancers and try to see what the differences are. And where those differences are might be where we can start targeting prevention efforts. If we know something is overexpressed in breast cancer, we can take a step back and say, okay, how can we stop that overexpression from happening? And would that prevent this cancer from developing?
Recruitment is part of your job, Dr. Ridley Merriweather. We know that there is definitely racial and ethnic breast cancer disparities that exist. And so it's really important that if you're a woman of color or ethnic background, that you need to be a part of these studies.
Absolutely. So I want to second Dr. Cote's thanks for having us on here. It's very important that we get this information out, and we're grateful for the opportunity. Dr. Cote spoke about the differences, spoke about researching the differences, and many of those differences are due to the fact that breast cancer develops differently in people of different races and ethnicities. Also, we're sure that there's geographic differences in everything, but there are such clear and proven, basically, differences in how people develop breast cancer based on their race and ethnicity. And a lot of unfortunately, of course, the Black and brown people developing breast cancer have not only much darker prognoses for survival and for successful treatment, but also incidence rates in certain types of breast cancers that are more virulent, more aggressive, are clearly affecting, particularly, for example, there's one type of breast cancer, that triple negative breast cancer, that Black women and young Latinas we know for a fact, Black women develop that particular type of breast cancer, are 20% more likely to develop it. And that cancer is one that we have no targeted treatments for it. We can treat it with some general treatments, for example, but there are other types that have medications and treatments that have been targeted specifically for that type of breast cancer that you have, but there are no such thing for these targeted treatments for these more aggressive types. And of course, Black and brown people do not have the history of safety with medical research or the medical system in general that white people have. And I'm speaking as a Black female, we have very valid reasons to be hesitant to participate in research. These reasons are real, and they are important, and they must be just kind of upheld and validated. There's so many barriers out there, and I learned very early in my work that I was not going to be able to necessarily attack the barriers. The barriers are going to be there. My work is focused on working to increase the motivations of these population members to actually participate in research despite their valid hesitations. Because if we don't participate, we don't benefit, because most of the treatments have been made for white women, and that's who they treat the best, and that's who they treat most successfully. Although research has shown that we are all 99.99% the same, that difference of ancestry is a very important factor. Another who have not been able to eat correctly or be treated well, and who have had horrible things done to them that have definitely affected the health, not just of them, but of their children. And so those things are definitely showing up in this. And then, of course, there's all the disparity of being able to just get good health care from the beginnings of our own lives.
Dr. Kathy Ridley-Merriweather and also Dr. Michelle Coday is here, and we're talking about the Komen Tissue Bank and how important it is. This October 19th event is, more than anything, it's about awareness, is what I wanted to bring to the table today. And Dr. Coday, this upcoming event on October 19th, can you give us an idea of what that looks like and what we need to do to be a part of it?
You can go to our website, or you can actually just Google Komen Tissue Bank. That will get you to a page where we have interested donors that can sign up. If you're just like, yes, I'm 100% sure I want to do this, you can sign up as a donor. An email will go out that gives you some more information about, how to park. It gives you a video to watch beforehand so that you know what to expect.
Okay.
So all of this, we should mention, is 100% done through kind of volunteer labor. The people who will greet you at the door when you come in are volunteers. Our physicians who actually, take the biopsies, our phlebotomists who do the blood draw, they're all volunteers because they realize just how important this project is. Check out our website. There's a number that you can call and contact. Don't want to enter your information. You can talk to a real live person here. We're happy to talk people through. We're interested in, like I said, primarily women, without a personal history of breast cancer, also men as well.
One of the main reasons that minoritized population members, so Black people, Latinas, Asians, indigenous populations, one of the main barricades to non-white people participating in research is that we are rarely asked to do so. And so I never leave a conversation without making sure that I ask. If there are listeners out there who are Black or brown, we would love to have you participate. Breast cancer risk is rising in young people of all races and ethnicities. We call young like under 45, under 40, because there's also very little research on those population members.
Thank you. I'm so grateful. Again, cancer.iu.edu.
Like Michelle said, or you can just literally Google Komen, Komen, tissue bank.
It's the world's only biorepository for normal breast tissue, which is what we've been talking about, normal breast tissue donation. Dr. Michelle Cote, the director of the Komen Tissue Bank, and also Dr. Kathy Ridley Merriweather. Thank you both so much for your time today. I know you're on the road. Be safe.
Thank you. Thank you
so
for having
much.
us.
And we've got food news coming up next right here on 93 WIBC.
Hey, it's Rob. If you want to grow your hair,
$12.50. Colts play in a few minutes. In Tennessee, told you earlier, Joe Flacco will be your quarterback for today. Terri Stacy, along with Denny Smith, Kielynn Talley. We're going to do some food news in a minute, but I almost completely forgot that we were doing a radiothon. I did. I just got so distracted.
Shelly Allen in Silver Snout Senior Rescue.
That's it.
Did I get it right?
Silver Snout Senior Dog Rescue. We talked to her earlier this morning. She's in Florida with all of your donations and the cash that you have sent to this really great small organization. They are down there delivering supplies and helping those animals that have become homeless now and that are in shelters, or bringing as many as we can shelters to different locations, getting them out of the shelter so more can come in. It's just, it's an awful situation, not only for humans, but for animals too. And Shelly is my animal hero today. But yes, if you could just give $5 right now, a couple dollars anyway, whatever you can do, go to silversnoutrescue.com silversnoutrescue.com. They're also on social media, Facebook in particular. And if you can help them out, they sure would appreciate it. They got a lot of work ahead of them and would like to bring some of those shelter dogs back here if they can get the funds to do so. Because they need help. Kielynn, you ready for some food news? She's already been feeding us. We won't lie. We've been eating and eating and eating.
And I'm so
Bring it
excited
on.
to share with you.
Okay.
Look how delicious.
Can you see that, Kielynn?
Yeah, it's right in their face.
Is it?
Here's
Should
a
I pull back?
little mix.
We're on YouTube.
This
Showing you what we're eating.
Go check out our live stream, 93 WIBC. That's all you have to type in the search bar, and we'll pop up right there. Before we get to the food tasting, I want to mention Domino's is doing another free emergency pizza. So you buy a pizza now, and then you get a free pizza later, whenever you need it.
What's an emergency?
So
What is an
if
emergency?
you,
You're right, Denny.
That's fair.
A pizza
Okay,
emergency.
so if you're at home, like me, I've had a lot of late nights recently. I didn't want to cook dinner, so I called in my Domino's free emergency pizza. So it's quite literally just for whenever. If you don't feel
Bingo.
like
And what does that
eating,
mean? Does
if
it
you're
come for free?
Yeah,
It comes for free.
yeah.
They deliver it and everything?
I don't know about deliver. I always do pickup because I hate making people drive when
She's
I don't
got
even
such a
want
heart.
to. So I never even do delivery, so I don't even look at that as an option. But I'll check it out and then let you guys know.
Okay.
But yeah, just a little free emergency pizza for you whenever you're gonna need it.
I think that's a great deal. That is
Yeah.
food
All right,
news.
now you
Well,
brought
they
in.
did their first one last winter with the snow. So they were like, if you are snowed in, we'll bring you a pizza. So maybe delivery is with that.
All right.
Another food deal for you. You know how I like my Krispy Kreme.
We do.
Well, starting in Chicago this week, Krispy Kreme donuts are now available at all McDonald's locations.
Cool.
How you feel
Wait a
about
minute.
that?
What?
Cool.
McDonald's is now serving Krispy Kreme donuts.
Well, that's going to be a hit.
That's an alliance.
I'm excited for it.
I can't remember
really,
them selling a
McDonald's
donut.
coffee is not bad. Everybody complains. I really like the White Castle coffee and the McDonald's coffee. Both of them are good.
I'm
Put
not
a
a coffee
donut in
drinker.
there, and
no,
I'm
so
home.
I
I'm
can't-
home for free.
I'm excited for it because there's only one Krispy Kreme location here in central Indiana in Castleton, and that's kind of a drive for people. So just going to McDonald's, heck yeah. And in celebration, Krispy Kreme is giving away a free original glazed donut to guests who come to store showing a McDonald's paper or digital receipt. So you just have to show up today or tomorrow. Tomorrow's the last day to do it. Show up and you get a free original donut. Terri, oh my
I don't
gosh.
have it.
You had, no. She bought us breakfast this morning. She gave us
McDonald's.
sausage egg McMuffins. You,
Yeah.
Right.
you had, do you have your receipt?
No, I don't. I never
We
keep
coulda-
my receipt.
We could
Terri,
have got a free Mickey
Donut.
D's.
are you telling me you cheated me out of a free donut?
I did, and I don't feel good about it. But I can't go back in time.
What
it's
the
thrown
heck
away
type of
in the trash
adopted
can
mother
there.
are you to this child?
You should have known.
I know. I know.
Okay,
But
well,
I'm sorry, but that's a good deal.
Apology
That's
not
a really
accepted.
good deal.
it's okay. I'll go get my donut.
She's got
anyways.
plenty of snacks here. Don't let her fool you.
Ugh.
She's got so much
Okay,
sugar
yes,
in this
you're
room.
right. Let's
Oh,
turn to
wait a
other
minute.
celebrations.
Wait a minute. Pot calling the kettle black. You got more sugar in the
this
last 5 minutes.
What? Okay, Kylan's holding up her peace sign.
National Dessert Day
Is today?
and National Real Sugar Day is
And no bra day?
tomorrow. And no bra day. You're
I'm
correct.
doing my best.
To celebrate National Dessert Day and National Real Sugar Day, who better to promote than this local bakery owner? And people say sugar is her love language. We're celebrating Jessica Klatt of Mama Bird Bakery in Plainfield.
Oh, I love what they do.
They're so good.
They are so diverse when it comes to actually the employees that are working there, and everybody
They
gets
help
a
out with
chance.
food drives, partnerships
Everything.
with local nonprofits,
Ooh.
and because of all of their work, they were named to Square 50 for community impact and
Yeah.
milestone achievements. They're only one of 50 honorees from across the country
Oh my
to be
gosh.
recognized. Pretty awesome. And so we have some food to taste from them. A pecan sticky bun, such you see here in the
Ate it.
YouTube chat.
Awesome.
There's marshmallow
Awesome.
filled s'mores cupcake. Look at that.
That
Gooey,
is so
delicious.
good. That's what I'm eating.
And then right here, some pumpkin muffin. And the pumpkin muffin is Jessica's
gosh.
favorite. And let
You
me
know,
tell
it's
you.
a very mild pumpkin flavor, but
delicious.
very good.
That is so good.
There's
I
not a-
love that chocolate
they're all
cupcake
winners.
s'mores. That tastes, it's reminiscent
You ate
of the
my-
olden days
You ate my
when
s'more.
Hostess made cupcakes that taste
We have
different
all
than
the
they do
individual
today.
plates, and they were
Oh my
really good.
gosh.
Terry says, "I just love this,"
We
and
made
she
a little
comes over and
platter.
eats my s'more. So I don't even know how the s'more tastes.
Too bad. It's awful good.
It's all good.
It's very, again, reminiscent of
my
a Hostess cupcake, much better. But in the olden days, I think Hostess
right.
cupcakes were better than they are today.
Yeah.
I don't know what
And the
they've
pecan
done.
sticky bun is
it's
amazing.
outstanding.
Oh my gosh, and it's only there for fall. Get it while you can.
And thank
Over
you to
in
Mama Birds.
Plainfield.
We
Oh.
watched
Kielynn,
when you
thanks
opened,
for
and you're
getting
doing so
these in
good.
here.
Thank
These
you,
really are
Kielynn.
good.
Thank you, Denny. Thank you to all of our great guests today. And we appreciate you too for tuning in, whether it's on air or if you're on YouTube and see us there. Thank you so much. Have a great week ahead. And go Colts.
I'm easy like Sunday morning.
Xfinity here. How can we help?
Hi. My daughter invited her entire class to her birthday party.